I am 18 years old. I have three younger sisters. And what I do in my community is essentially I volunteer with Together We Own It, who is a nonprofit that works with children and families impacted by trauma. We do youth programming as well as providing basic necessities and wraparound services to the entire family. Within that, I help out with all of it and just fundraising events. And generally speaking, I do a lot of advocacy for mental health within my community. I share my own story as well as speaking to peers my age one-on-one about resources within the community. I am a first-year student at McDaniel College, and I just recently graduated from Winters Mill High School. Found out about the Children's Mental Health Matters campaign through a school club, Sources of Strength, which is a national organization working on suicide prevention, bullying prevention, and substance abuse prevention. And we highlighted the Children's Mental Health Matters Week, specifically working hand in hand with the Children's Mental Health Matters campaign. From there, I did my own research about the campaign, and I just absolutely fell in love with all of the work that you guys do, from working with organizations all over the state of Maryland one-on-one and making that big community impact. And that's what I have really loved about the campaign since day one. Over the last few years, at the high school level, what I did is I worked directly with Sources of Strength. I was the president of the club at my school chapter. And what we did was we did different school campaigns where we would put like Post-it notes with inspiring messages on people's lockers, or we would write thank you notes to all of our teachers and highlighting just different aspects of your life which can help support you whenever you have a difficult day or a difficult period of time. So I just helped generate campaigns and worked with those in our club, both mentors and my peers, in executing those campaigns. And then on the community level, what I have done is I have used my own social media platforms to raise awareness about mental health and a lot of topics within mental health that we don't normally talk about on a day-to-day basis, just kind of destigmatizing everything. And I also have a lot of meetings and partnerships with different community organizations. And what I do is I kind of tell them a little bit about what I have seen within my community, my peers, and what I think still needs to be done and how we think we should execute that. Really just the conversations that we've had more than anything. There's a lot of events and virtual events that we do, in-person events that we do. But for me, the most impactful has been the conversations that we are having, not only about future planning or what we hope to be doing, but checking in with each other and creating those connections that really matter. I have seen a lot of administrators start to speak more openly about mental health within the school system, as well as our own Board of Education, highlighting things that has been done in mental health awareness, and just really being someone who's behind it and supporting it and being a big advocate for it. I have also seen a lot of my own peers start to open up, not only to myself, but to counselors, administrators, teachers, those people who can help connect each other to the resources that are needed. And even those resources within our community have started to talk about some of those more taboo topics that we say, and just kind of destigmatizing mental health on a whole nother level. So as a young adult who has been living through this pandemic and all of these transitional phases of my life and in the world, I think that what I have seen the most that people my age are struggling with is just kind of balance, I would say, taking on too much and not practicing that self-care that we always preach, or not really having that balance in all aspects of their lives. And then when we get to the point where, you know, we have hit our max, we crash and we don't know how to pick ourselves back up from there. And that is the point where we have to reach out to those resources when we could have prevented it before, you know, taking those preventative measures, taking 5 minutes in our day and just checking in with how we feel and feeling our feelings, and, you know, reaching out to those resources before we hit that point where it's too much. Mental health is important to me because I see it every single day of my life, on a personal level, on a professional level, on a family level. Um, I have struggled with my mental health for basically my entire life. And once I became aware of it, it was a really difficult thing to talk about because I felt like everyone around me was doing so well and I just wasn't. Um, on a mental health level, but achievement wise, I was doing amazing. I was excelling at school. I was, you know, this child who was doing great in all aspects except this one that I had to hide. And within realizing that, I started thinking to myself, if I feel this, other people feel this too. And then I started having these conversations with the people in my life, who I kind of sensed something was happening, and we created those connections and we started learning about more resources and educating ourselves to see how we can best help ourselves and reach out to those resources. I strongly believe that other people should get involved in this campaign that is going on throughout the state, because you learn so much and you meet so many amazing people who are so educated around this topic, and you have a sense of fulfillment from participating in these events, not only because you are learning, but because I personally have felt it on such a deep level, the importance of the work that is being done.